Hello there, guildies. This is a frightening Halloween episode of the Adventurers Guild. I am your creepy host, Steve.
And I'm still Scary Jesse.
I like that.
Thank you.
Where was I? Yes, this is an episode of Game Night.
And every once in a while, there's that perfect game that comes out during the Halloween season.
Yes, there is.
And what's scarier than the underworld, Steve?
Not living up to your parents' expectations.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's combine them both in the wonderful release game on the Switch, Hades.
I'm not sure how that game has much to do with not living up to your parents' expectations, but we're gonna roll with it anyway.
Oh, you'll see.
Action RPG, dungeon crawler,
Switch?
Hades for the Switch.
Ooh.
This is a really hard tone to speak in.
I know.
But let's just get that heck right to it. And cue that creepy music.
Ah!
Game night.
And just like that, here we are.
We teleported to chairs.
We did, it was fun.
And it's funny because this game has some teleporting in it.
No.
This is Hades. Okay, this
For the
came out.
Nintendo Switch.
Yes, this came out for the Switch and PC. I recommend it on the Switch because you can have it on the go. I'm loving this game. Steve hasn't played it. I showed him a little bit earlier, but not much to get him just a little like taste
The
of it.
water, the salivating, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
So I'm going to go ahead and start it now. I'm partly through running through the dungeon, and it's not going to ruin any story for you because I'm going to show you how the game's going. But
Any spoiler alerts for things, we will tell you ahead of time.
yes, there's multiple weapons you can get in the game. This is a shield, and the reason I like it is because you can do this with it.
Like
What?
Captain America!
Yes. Oh, such a brilliant
So,
game.
having never seen this game before, except for like the 30 seconds you said, hey, we should try this out.
Yep.
Here it is, blah, blah, blah. At face value, this looks a ton like a Diablo-esque isometric
Yeah, so
view.
it's made by Supergiant, the ones that made Bastion, and
Okay.
it is kind of almost a dungeon crawler, but they really focus a lot on combat in their games and really trial and error, like finding the weapon that works for you, finding what enemies.
So there's different weapon types, you're saying?
Yes. So like every time I don't want to get too ahead of stuff, but let's just say there's multiple times you can try to get different weapons on. There's a sword you start off with, spear. There's an arrows. I just happen to really like the way the shield plays.
Okay.
And it's kind of, but that's how I'm playing the game. Somebody might play and be like, well, I want to play it as something else. This is the currency you can use in the game. So most rooms have two options you can pick. Each option has, so this I can go into a store and process and buy things or anything like that. Or I can actually meet up with one of the gods here after clearing out this room and he might give me an upgrade.
So gods like Greek gods, you mean?
Greek gods, yeah.
Okay.
So you are playing as Hades' son. The whole idea of this game is to kind of escape from Hades because you're tired of living down there. You are the prince of the underworld, and you say, no, that's not for me. I'm good.
So, are like all of the Greek gods in this game, or just Hades?
Yeah, so actually, it's funny. The more and more you play, the more options you meet for Greek gods.
Okay.
And each one gives you a different kind of power and ability. Zeus, obviously lightning and stuff like that. So this is one of the first bosses. Not the easiest boss in the world, but a fun boss nonetheless to play as.
So wait, you're playing them again? Why are you fighting them again if you already fought them?
I see. I don't want to ruin the joy for you guys.
But we could do a spoiler alert and let people know
Yes.
why the game works the way it does.
Yes.
All right, so spoiler alert.
So basically, the way the game works is you are in the underworld, and anybody knows when you die, you return to the underworld. Well, the whole idea is you're already in the underworld, so when you fail in this game, instead of getting a game over, it just brings you back to the beginning of the game. You walk out where anybody else who dies would have showed up in the underworld, and you take your lickings, and because you gained experience, you learned how to fight certain people, your character is just that much stronger, that much more skilled, and you got to keep a lot of your upgrades you've gotten. So the next time you play, you might do just a smidge better. So an example would be the first time I fought this boss. She destroyed me within a matter of, I'm going to say, 15 seconds. And as you can see now, I got half of her life down. And I'm most likely going to be able to beat her this time.
So I understand this correctly. Every single time you die, you have to play through the whole game again?
It takes you right back to the beginning, correct. But you remember the dialogue, and you remember each character. You remember you get a little stronger. And it's funny because it's not like it's not like it's repeating cutscenes, because had I not skipped over her dialogue, she would have said, hadn't I just defeated you?
Okay.
And you know what I mean? And it kind of, it almost intrigues you to continue to play. And it's funny, when you do lose to her, your character frustratingly says, I fell to her, or certain kind of boss enemies that take you out. It's kind of embarrassing. So you'll mention that, and this is my last chance. So I've actually upgraded my character enough that... Oh, Peter.
Nice job. Fury vanquished.
Yes. So I've upgraded my character enough that every time I die, I get an extra chance, and then I upgraded past that, so now I have 2 chances every time I died. So originally, when you first start the game, you lose all your health, you're dead. So this is the first boss defeated. I get a nice upgrade that I want.
You can get another one even though you have to play her to beat her again?
Yep. Because the whole point is to
continuously get stronger.
Yes, and stronger. So I'm hoping by the end of this, I'm just going to be able to fly through this game.
So theoretically, you could continuously beat the boss and then intentionally die over and over again.
Over and over. That's actually was funny. I was showing this to my nephew, and he said, that's a good idea. You could technically just, kill yourself and then continue to get stronger and stronger, and that way you wouldn't have to worry about it.
So the idea here is the game is intentionally exceptionally difficult.
Difficult, yes. Fun fact, though, for those who are saying, I don't like super difficult games. One, I don't either, but I'm really enjoying this. But they do have a God mode you can turn on.
Okay.
Where the enemies are still difficult, but it's drastically brought down. And every time you die, your character gets that much stronger. So you can definitely actually finish the game.
So easy mode, basically.
Yes. Hey, whatever floats your boat. I'm on the fence of, I don't have to feel like I need to be cool or whatever. Sometimes I just want to play a game and enjoy the story, so easy mode it up. You know what I mean? Some people get themselves all frustrated and flustered. I couldn't do it.
The art style of this game is beautiful.
It is very beautiful.
And this is on the Switch. Obviously, it's not a first-party game. It's a third-party game. But yet, it does appear to have a rock-solid 60 FPS just by looking at it. It doesn't
not
seem
one
to have
frame
any
drop
glitch yet.
I've seen.
Granted, the graphics aren't overly complicated or whatever. But you do notice that with the Switch, like, Nintendo games, first-party games, are always beautiful, and there's almost never any, like, frame hiccups or any like, dramatic frame rate issues, whatever. You find a lot of times with third-party games, or games that are ports, that is a big problem on the Switch.
Mm-hmm. We discussed that with the Resident Evil games.
Yes, we did. But it's interesting though, because, well, I guess although this was probably developed specifically for the Switch, and then there's a PC version as well. But I assume that the main development for this game took place on the Switch. That's without actually knowing for sure, but that's what I would assume. But it looks like it plays absolutely incredibly.
It does play. It feels really solid. I've never had an issue with frame rate dropping insanely.
I can't get over how nice the art style is.
What I'm very surprised about is the game's fully voice acted.
Really?
Yes, every line of dialogue is fully voice acted, and they're really good. Like the dialogue is hilarious and funny. The voice acting is actually really good. I always appreciate good voice acting, and when you find a character that matches. But envision what you think Zeus sounds like. That's what Zeus sounds like. Think what Hades sounds like. That's what Hades sounds like.
And this is not a $60 game, right?
No. I bought it when it released. It was on sale for $20. I think it went up to $25 now, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't sing its praises anymore. Anybody that's in our Discord, shamelessly plugging our Discord.
I heard it's only $1 for premium access to Discord, plus a bunch of other stuff.
Everybody in Discord knows I was singing the praise of this game when it came out, and was just telling everybody you had to try it because it was just so incredible. So here's one of the examples. Hermes, I can meet him. We'll do some dialogue, and then he offers me a nice update what I can, want to do. So I can, here I'm going to improve my dash, and now I can move quicker. Or my dash hurts people, or things like that. Remember, I was talking about that teleporting. There it is.
I am in love with the way this. I know I've said this like 3 times now. I can't get over how beautiful this game is. It looks like a mixture of a cartoon and a comic book.
I 100% agree. I had heard about this game coming out, and I immediately was interested because I'd heard the idea of it was pretty much play it until you get better, and then I thought the interesting concept was just a character being aware of he was killed and this is how he was killed, and you're going to do it again and learn from your mistakes. And it kind of reminds me of the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor.
Right.
Not as complex, of course, but I thought it was such an interesting concept to actually play, and like to Steve's knowledge, say, oh, so technically you're playing the same rooms over and over. Oh, the rooms do slightly change.
Oh, okay.
So you never feel like you're playing the exact same rooms over and over. But just to actually keep me that much interested in the game, where I'm so hooked to the idea. And now to this point, like I'm waiting for my character to pass away, and I've gotten that good at the game from just playing it over time that like I've learned how to dodge, move. I can have a conversation and play the game.
Right. So that dodging that you're doing, that's something that you can always do from the very beginning.
Correct. But I upgraded it, so you see how it has an attack motion to it. If you know your Greek mythology, and which I do, I love Greek mythology, there are so many fun callbacks to the game. I was showing Steve earlier, Medusa is in the game, and she's already missing her head, because if you know in Greek mythology, Percy took her head.
So you talk to her head in the game?
Yeah, that's it. She's just a severed head in the game. I thought that was such an interesting thing.
That's really cool.
So, I think it's just a fun, neat, really wonderful experience, and I can't recommend it anymore. I mean, and it's something you can pick up and play. You don't have to put too much energy or thought into. You can just literally just have a good time. Like, there's so many games that you walk away from it for a week and you've lost yourself. Where this one, you can literally pick it up at any time and just have a blast.
Well, that is awesome, and I now know what I'm going to be playing next weekend.
So I'm actually going to let my character, poor guy, pass away to show you the relaunch, so you can see the character. I feel so bad doing this to him. So I passed away.
Oh, poor guy.
There's no escape. And then we'll watch this. I'm 34% stronger than what I've started the game with. Well, high five.
Oh, nice job.
There it is. And beautifully, I just returned to the beginning of the underworld.
Aww, look at you. You crawled out of a little pile of blood.
There it is. You can make conversation.
So is this like the town, so to speak?
Yes, there's the god of the underworld, your father himself, Hades. Different characters you can interact with. And then, that's the other brilliant thing. The farther you get in the game, the more this gets enhanced with different characters, different people. Like the one Fury I defeated. Mm-hmm. The first time I defeated her, when I came back over here, she was sitting in the bar drinking because she was angry that she was defeated by me.
Oh, that's so neat.
So, really, just a beautifully done game. I want to show you how adorable Medusa is before we go out. Look at
her name is Dusa.
Yeah, I can't sing the praise of this game anymore.
So, she looks very happy.
She does. She has a crush on you.
Zagreus.
Yes. So if you like your Greek mythology, I highly recommend it. I don't want to get into too many dialogue bubbles because I don't want to ruin. The game is very story heavy, which is very funny. And then the more conversations you have with people, the more you unlock and the more abilities you talk to them. So go to the select menu real quick. It's not what there it is. As you see, I have so many more conversations to have with Medusa. Same thing with Skelly over here and Achilles. You can have multiple conversations.
Did I see Cerberus?
Yes.
Wow.
Here's the gods I've met so far, all voice acted. It's incredible. So, Hades.
Awesome.
What do you think, Steve?
I'm super excited to play it. Like, legitimately, I actually may buy it tonight.
I know, and perfect time. It came out right in time for Halloween. You can't ask for any more.
This is true.
Goodness.
Well, guys, I think that just about does it for this episode of Game Night. This is Hades, available on the Switch, exclusively on the Switch for console platforms, and also available on Windows PC and possibly Mac OS. I think I saw that.
I think so.
Don't quote me, but I think it's also available for Mac. Big thank you to our patrons who are appearing at the bottom of the screen.
Wow, that's really neat.
I know, right? For Game Night, I am Steve.
Still Jesse.
Continue to tune in for the rest of the month of October for more
Steve's gonna lick his elbow.
spooky episodes. Is that even possible?
It is not possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't
Tune
sound.
in, though.
It
We're
doesn't
gonna
sound
try
right. All right, guys. For Game Night, we'll catch you next time.
Peace.